I was trying to paint my room today, but looks like I'm missing a piece. Great, that just went out the window. So I bought a new camera. I'm not gonna tell you what it is until after this video because I wanna go over my final thoughts after having this A7 III for like what, 4 to 5 years already. And I think it's time to give you guys my thoughts on this, plus the cameras that are coming out, and also let you know what camera I just bought and a new lens. So we'll go over that later. First off, really dig the Sony A7 III. It's been my workhorse for like all weddings, portraits, pretty much every YouTube video, except some of the Fuji videos that I've released has been with the Sony A7 III. So for the past 3 years, there's been like a bunch of cameras that I've released from Sony and Canon, specifically talking about Sony, hashtag non-biased. There has been a couple of releases, specifically the Sony A7 III, which is really awesome to use. Also the Sony A7 IV, also the Sony A7 R5, which that camera is it's sick. So I want to go over some of the things I like and don't like in comparison to like those other new cameras, and maybe if you are interested in buying a second body, or maybe you're starting off in photography and videography, you want to get your feet wet with full frame, Sony A7 III might be the best bet for you, but we'll get into it. So I can't really compare video specs between the A7 R5, A7 IV, and the Sony A7 III compared to this, only because, well, those cameras are really great at video and autofocusing, so I'd rather focus on the photography side of things for this video. Maybe another time we'll do the video stuff. All right, let's talk image quality. Sony A7 III, 24.2 megapixel files, decent files. Honestly, if you're shooting weddings, this does more than enough. When it comes to weddings, I think the A7 III delivers really good files, and also you're not crazy loading up your memory card with a bunch of big files and data. Let's talk ergonomics for a second, because the Sony A7 III, for me personally, my hand size works well. I've been using this L bracket system from YC Onion. Small Rig has them, different other brands have them. But I've been using this for like 4 years. I have not come off my camera, only because it gives me an extra grip also, and I can use this for video content as well, video creation. I took off the L side here for a project that I was doing, but I have an L bracket here that has quarter 20 threads. Put that on there. And you can even use this as it has an Arca Swiss mount also. Even when I take this off, it works really well in my hands. For some people, if they got bigger hands, it may not work. They might need to get a grip as well. At the time, this was one of the features that I liked about the camera. Sony a6000 lines were a little bit smaller. The grip was a little bit smaller, so having something with a grip for me was important. If you're starting out in weddings, you might want to think about having 2 card slots. Sony A7 III has 2 dual card slots. It's been great because I can record media on both cards and shoot photos with both cards. One is a backup in case one fails, which I've never had an SD card fail on me, so you know, but just in case, it's always good to have. Some of the things that I don't like about this camera was, in the beginning when I purchased this, was that somehow the audio jack messed up right from the beginning. I had to get it fixed, so a little flimsy maybe in the internal stuff, but ever since it was fixed, no issues at all. Other thing I don't like is the mini HDMI. The reason why I don't like this mini HDMI is because it's very flimsy, and if there's weight on that cord or something like that, like it can bend. I had a few cords already that bent the end of it, so you know, that's the kind of like the caveat you get. I've heard from some filmmakers and cinematographers that they don't like using the mini HDMI because of that. If you've been following me on Instagram, I've been thinking about which camera to buy, and you know, Sony A7 III obviously has been with me for a while, and it's been trying to find something that is going to benefit me in the types of projects that I'm doing. One for YouTube and also for client work, weddings and portraits. And I've been kind of going back and forth. Do I switch brands? Do I trade everything in and get something new? Or do I stick within the Sony line, which I prefer more than likely to do anyway. So I did tell you that I purchased the camera, and that's the camera that I'm using right now. And I gotta say, the camera that I'm using right now is the Sony A7 IV. Yep, I purchased the Sony A7 IV. It was that between that or maybe switching to Canon. And I decided to stay with the A7 IV because of the ecosystem. Not only that, there are a few things I want to go over in another video, but I can hands down say for the past month I've been using this camera already, and ergonomics much better, the button placement so much better, and also when you're shooting a wedding, you're doing both photo and video, you can quickly switch over with that dial. I also have a new lens, which is the Tamron 20-40 f2.8, which was a lens that kind of slipped right by me because I totally forgot this was released, and I wanted to try it out, and I tried it out, loved it, and it's a good range for me for BTS footage for the studio, even when I'm shooting for the shoots that I'm going to be doing also, even for weddings, and when I'm filming weddings and shooting photos. It's an all-around good focal range. I had the 16mm, got rid of that, and ended up getting this, which it's been awesome. So it's a really good lens. Now, taking a step back with the Sony A7 III, if you are interested in full frame and in Sony, and you want to get in on a budget, definitely check out the Sony A7 III. Now, I do want to trade this camera in eventually to get something else. I'm not going to say what that camera is because I'm in between two cameras, but for the moment, this is going to be right by my side. A7 IV as the main, and pretty much it. That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about, to give you guys an update and what I think about the Sony A7 III, and also just letting you guys know about the camera. It's pretty cool. I'll be making updates on my Instagram. You follow me at Josh Luciano with my space and all that stuff. And yeah, there's a lot going on. I need to get this room done so I can continue on with the rest of the projects that I need to get done and the videos that I have in mind. But I gotta get this space done so I can actually do it, because right now it's just I have all my gear on one side, table moved over, and the paint stuff, it's nuts. But whatever, it is what it is. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and if you haven't, hit that subscribe button below, share it with your friends, and all that good stuff. Until then, stay awesome, stay fresh, keep creating. Peace.